Despite injuries, team changes, and everything else that should have slowed him down, Luka's averaging almost 28 points, 8 rebounds, and 7 assists per game, and he's doing it in a way that makes no sense at all. He's not the fastest, he's not the most athletic, but somehow he's always in control, like he's the best. There are good NBA players who put up good numbers, and there are players who put up insane numbers and make you feel like you're watching a master class every time they touch the ball. At the age of 26, he's the blueprint 5 all NBA first teams. I've watched a lot of basketball, but I've never seen anything like this. The more you look, the more absurd it gets, and I can't stop watching. Luka Doncic didn't just jump into the NBA and make an immediate impression. He was already playing grown men on one of the biggest stages in Europe before he was breaking ankles in the States. Born in Slovenia, Luka grew up in a basketball-crazy part of Europe where basketball isn't just a sport, it's a way of life. The court was always where he felt at home, and it was obvious as soon as he picked up a ball that he wasn't just playing for fun. It's rare for a small country like Slovenia to produce NBA-caliber players, but Luka was not only one of the best prospects Slovenia had ever seen, he was also one of the best talents Europe had seen in years. It didn't take long for Europe's most prestigious club, Real Madrid, to come calling, and by the time he was 13, Luka was packing his bags, leaving his family behind, and moving to Spain to join their youth academy on a 5-year contract. For most kids, that would be a difficult adjustment, but Luka made it. Luka arrived and dominated MVP championships, leading Real Madrid's youth teams to the top of Europe's club circuit. By the age of 15, he was practicing with Real Madrid's senior team instead of just playing with kids. By the age of 16, Doncic had already earned the nickname El Niño Maravilla, the Wonder Boy. And it wasn't just for show. He was already playing for Real Madrid's senior team in the EuroLeague, taking on seasoned professionals and holding his own against the best. However, Luka's time in Europe wasn't just impressive, it was historic. In 2018, at the age of 19, he led Real Madrid to a EuroLeague championship, averaging 16 points, 4 and rebounds. Even with all of that success in Europe, the NBA wasn't exactly a done deal. Scouts were still doubtful about Luka's athleticism and speed, spreading stories about his ceiling being too slow and not explosive enough. Let's be honest, there was some bias against international players too. He also took home the EuroLeague MVP and Final Four MVP awards, making him the youngest player ever to do so. At that point, it was evident that Luka wasn't just the best European prospect of his generation, he was among the best prospects in the world. The time had finally come for Luka to cross the Atlantic. In 2018, the Atlanta Hawks selected him 3rd overall, but traded him to the Dallas Mavericks for Trae Young and a future draft pick. From the moment Luka took the court, he dispelled all doubters, proving that he was far superior to everyone's expectations. His rookie season was nothing short of extraordinary, averaging 21 points per game, 2 points out of 7. Although he averaged 8 rebounds and 6 assists a game, Luka's ability to manage the game's speed, his playmaking, and his scoring all stood out, earning him the NBA Rookie of the Year award in a command. In his second season, Luka not only got better, but he also elevated his game to a new level. His scoring reached almost 29 points per game, and he was selected to the league's first all-NBA first team that year. From then on, Luka became one of the league's best all-around players and a consistent MVP contender. By 2025, Luka had earned 5 all-NBA first-team selections and 5 NBA All-Star appearances, and he had guided the Mavericks to several deep playoff runs, including an NBA Finals appearance in 23-24. At just 26 years old, the future appeared to be extremely bright for both Luka and the Dallas Mavericks team. To understand why this trade was so shocking, you must first understand what Luka Doncic is on the basketball court. The truth is that defining Luka is nearly impossible because he embodies so many skills and abilities that draw comparisons to both current and former superstars. For example, take James Harden. Shams Charania shocked everyone when he revealed that the Dallas Mavericks were trading Luka Doncic to the Lakers in exchange for Anthony Davis and a first-round pick. That was so unbelievable that Charania had to follow up with, "Yes, this is real." It's no accident that Luka's game frequently resembles Harden's in style. Both players are isolation-heavy lead guards who enjoy playing at their own pace. They are equally deadly at distribution and scoring, causing mismatches in the pick and roll when attacking the basket. They use screens in eerily similar ways and can both score from mid-range or throw lobs to cutters or players in the dunker spot. In addition, they have a body type that is big and powerful, particularly their rare deceleration ability, which allows them to stay in control while applying the brakes and changing direction while holding the ball. LeBron James, his current teammate, shares some similarities with Luka, while LeBron's game is built around supreme athleticism and a superhuman ability to process every strategy imaginable. Luka relies more on his extraordinary skill and savvy than the Lakers' Reeves Dunn. That said, Luka is closer to LeBron's play style than anyone has ever been, and it's not just because of his size or passing. Although some may argue that Luka is more seasoned than LeBron, given the physicality and force with which he drives, he also reminds me more of a LeBron in his prime, minus the insane athleticism. Both players are elite passers with incredible control over the game's pace, frequently putting defenses in impossible positions. They are also strategic, studying the game and remembering tendencies to exploit in future plays, whether it's a no-look pass or one of those impossible creative assists. Since Magic Johnson's Hall of Fame career helped make big point guards the new norm due to his success before his forced retirement, it's no surprise that Luka shares that Magic-like vision. The way Luka sees the floor and plays with flair is almost exactly like Showtime. The no-look passes, full-court bounce passes, behind-the-back cross-court lasers, flashy finishes, and circus layups are all characteristics of both Magic and Luka that make the game beautiful, unpredictable, and most importantly, impossible to look away from. This is why the term Luka Magic works so well, but it's not just Magic. There are similarities between Magic's longtime rival Larry Bird and Luka in their court vision, but Bird wasn't quite as skilled at handling the ball as Luka is. Bird's fadeaways, turnaround jumpers, and off-balance shots were pure wizardry. And Luka's bag is equally deep, with even more range, one-legged step-backs, high-arching floaters, and impossible angles. Both players use the same magic to turn low-percentage looks into automatic buckets. But it wouldn't be fair to overlook Luka's ties to Europe's best players. Starting with Dirk Nowitzki, who was the smoothest shooting 7-footer the league had ever seen, Luka leans more toward the Hall of Fame point guards, who used to set Dirk up a supercharged mix of Steve Nash and Jason Kidd. He also has elements of Dirk's game, such as the one-legged fadeaway, the footwork, the confidence in tight spaces, etc. Despite being contemporaries, the way Luka and Jokic control the game sets them apart from the rest of the league. Jokic orchestrates from the high post and the paint, while Luka manages the chaos from the perimeter. No matter where they are, both bend the game to their will in ways that very few have ever done before. However, when you have a player with Luka Doncic's level of talent, the records and figures will undoubtedly be amazing this season. Despite injuries and switching teams, Luka is averaging 27 8 points out of 9, 2 rebounds and 7 assists, although 7 assists per game is an NBA caliber stat line. Let's take a closer look and begin with the most evident score of all. Luka's is 27. His 9 points per game puts him in the 99th percentile of the league, which puts him in elite company. However, his true shooting percentage is even more amazing. Stands at 58. His effective field goal percentage is 53, which puts him above 65% of players by 5%. The fact that Lucas's game has never been about robotic efficiency, rather it's about control, is what makes him so great. He doesn't rely on catch-and-shoot threes or easy transition buckets, and he thrives in the half court, frequently creating something out of nothing against set defenses. 1% is about the league average, and Karl Anthony Towns is trying to shake him, but Towns is sticking with him. Tough shot. According to the mixed teamwork value metric, which gauges how much a player's presence swings the positive margin for his team, Luka ranks in the 96th percentile, but when he was on the court, the Mavericks performed noticeably better, a +8. This is where Luka truly stands out. 9 in net rating compared to when he was sitting. And if you believe that Dallas is the only team affected, consider how the Lakers' offense has increased by +15 during his brief stay in Los Angeles. 7 points for every 100 possessions, resulting in an astounding +9 increase in the net rating. When you're the focal point of everything your team does, you don't just fit into a new team, you rewrite its offensive identity. With Luka leading the way, the Lakers went from solid to surgical. Now let's talk about his playmaking and ball handling. He ranks in the 98th percentile for ball handling, which is crazy when you consider how frequently he's directing the offense alone. He also has an assist rate of 34. 15% is good for the 97th percentile, meaning that when Luka is on the court, more than 1/3 of his teammates' field goals are straight from his passes. Not only stuffing the stat sheet, but he's also controlling the tempo, giving him an advantage on every possession, bending defenses and making ordinary players look like stars. These numbers show how rare he is. He's not a cog in the machine. He is the machine. What's even more amazing is that Luka is radically changing the definition of a franchise cornerstone in the modern NBA. Over his career, Luka has averaged 28 points, 6 out of 8, 6 rebounds and 8, 2 goals and 2 assists are not only respectable totals, they are all-time highs. When you consider that he has been a walking triple-double every night for almost 6 years, scoring 28 points, those figures aren't terrific for a young player. By any measure, 6 points per game is exceptional, but Luka's contribution goes much beyond just making baskets. What sets him apart is that he's doing it while planning an entire offensive attack. Not only does he demonstrate his ability to pass well with 2 assists per game, but it also shows how well he runs everything. When you look at the advanced stats, it gets even more crazy. Let's speak about player efficiency rating. Lucas's lifetime P is 25. 5 isn't simply good, it's the league average is 15, and anything over 20 typically indicates that you're an all-star. Luka is comfortably above that threshold, and he's been there for 7 years in a row. He's also been consistently productive, and his box plus minus is even more insane. A BPM above 5 is MVP level, and Lucas is 7, making him one of the best players of all time. 6 indicates how much more effective his team is when he is on the court. But Luka only has 55 win shares in just 7 seasons, shows how frequently he contributes. Even more astounding is the fact that 36 of those victories were offensive in nature. He can lead his team to victory by scoring, passing, grabbing rebounds, or just carrying them there. 3 offensive win shares, to be precise, means that he is producing offense on his own every single night. Close out. Lucas avoids a closeout, and all of this is taking place while he has a high career usage rate of 35. We're talking about a heliocentric offense here, and 5% is not just high, it's historically high. Lucas is the offense. Nobody else in the NBA has the ball in their hands more than Luka, with the possible exception of Joik. He leads the league in touches per game year after year, and unlike other high-usage players who may struggle with efficiency, Luka manages to balance control and production. However, when the topic turns to records, it's a completely different ball game. To start, let's talk about his triple dominance. He has racked up 92 career triple-doubles, 82 in the regular season and 10 in the playoffs, placing him 7th on the NBA's all-time triple-double list. What's even more amazing is how quickly he has accomplished this feat, hitting 50 triple-doubles in 278 games, making him the second fastest player to do so, only surpassed by Oscar Robertson, who did it in 111 games. In addition to being the first player in NBA history to record 6 consecutive 30-point triple-doubles, Luka also holds the record for the most consecutive 35-point triple-doubles, having recorded 5 in a row. But the madness doesn't end there. Luka is one of only 3 players in NBA history to record a 60-point triple-double, which he accomplished against the New York Knicks in 2022 with 60 points, 29 rebounds, and 10 assists. That 602,010 game wasn't just a personal best for Luka. It was a ridiculous stat line that looked like something from a video game. Additionally, Luka has recorded a triple-double against all 30 NBA teams, making him one of only 4 players in NBA history, joining LeBron James, Russell Westbrook, and Nicole Jokic. When it comes to high-scoring games, Luka is not a one-hit wonder. He is one of only 9 players in NBA history with multiple 60-point games, with that 60-point triple-double against the Knicks being his other entry into the club. The most absurd aspect of his scoring consistency is that he has a career-high scoring game of 73 points against the Atlanta Hawks on January 26, 2024, before the quick hoop by Vidanovic. It also went up for 3 and in for 3, tying for the 4th most points ever recorded in a single NBA game. With an average of 28, he ranks 3rd all-time in points per game. He averages 30 points per game in the playoffs, which ranks him 2nd all-time. The greatest thrill is watching all of this happen with a simple eye test. Luka has demonstrated time and time again that he can do nearly anything on the offensive side of the game, and that he controls every aspect of a possession, not through speed or athleticism, but through timing, angles. His records include 9 over 50 career playoff games and 8 playoff games with 40 or more points. He is only 26 years old. And decision-making, Luka doesn't hurry. He plays at his own pace, calm, and always reads. This is what makes his game so difficult to stop. He never has to blow by defenders because he can get them off balance with a slight shoulder fake or a jab step pause, and then attack with a pivot or a Euro step that creates just enough space 5 to shoot Doncic behind the back. Here's the blow by the floater, it's gone. And if defenders overplay the drive, he counters with a step back 3, which has become one of the league's most effective. When faced with smaller guards, Luka uses his size advantage and patience to back them down and wait for help to arrive. He's not in a hurry, he plays with intention, and he always makes the high percentage read. His vision and passing IQ are just as sharp. He sees passing lanes before they open, hitting corner shooters with cross-court lasers or finding lobs in tight windows. He's even better than the average player. He knows when to drag the defender, when to reject the screen, when to hit the roller, and when to take it himself. No looks, quick swing passes, and most importantly, he knows how to use his body to create contact. Luka draws fouls with pump fakes, angles, and timing, and he welcomes contact. He finishes through defenders, maintains a firm grip on the ball in traffic, and absorbs hits like a much bigger player. His body control allows him to finish around the rim and hold up against more physically strong defenders. Luka doesn't just dominate, he does it methodically, possession by possession, with a level of control and variety that makes him one of the most complete offensive players in basketball. The best part is that you never get tired of watching this Luka magic unfold. 60 points, triple-double, and career-high 73 points. If this is how Luka Doncic looks at age 26, I can't even begin to imagine what he will look like in year 10. So, what do you think? Is Luka already the best offensive player in the league? Leave a comment below and let me know which player made you swoon. As always, please subscribe and click the bell for more in-depth looks at the NBA's most incredible talents. Points, the game winners against Boston, the bang-bang buzzer beater against the Clippers, and that circus game winner against the Grizzlies. This man is different.